If you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do, all these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Guys, and welcome to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Cynthia, and happy Wednesday, everyone. I can't believe it is July 1st. Excuse me? When did we let time go by so fast? How is it already July? I didn't even realize it was July today. I was typing up the podcast title for today's episode, and usually after I'm finished typing the title, we have to add the date. And I started typing 6. I was like, wait, there's no 31st in June. I checked my phone. I'm like, it's July 1st. That's crazy. Anyway, it's been a long day. It definitely feels like midweek. It's Wednesday. I'm feeling a little more fatigued than usual today. I didn't take my daily nap before I got here. Usually I take my nap after coming home from my first job, take a quick 1-2 hour nap. Well, that's not quick, but 1 or 2 hour nap usually. And then I make it here and I feel refreshed. But today I didn't get the chance to because your girl was distracted watching Netflix. I know, it's my bad. So I feel super fatigued, and of course, when I'm fatigued, when I feel the most fatigued, that's when I feel like I'm driving behind the slowest people. Pet peeve of mine, by the way. I hate driving behind slow people. And then I swear on my way to the studio here, I was hitting every single red light, which never happens, or rarely happens, I should say. So it took me an additional 10 minutes to get here, and I was just so over it. I was like, let me get out of this car before I lose it, because I just cannot deal with my life right now. I know that's me being extremely dramatic. I realize that, but anywho, let's discuss what we're here to talk about. I'm actually pretty stoked to talk about this new subject, OMAD diet, or the one meal a day diet. And my first time hearing about this diet was actually not even that long ago, probably 2 months ago. I came to the studio, and my boss here at the GSMC podcast network, him and I, we always talk a lot about fitness because he's really into fitness, and we both have great weight loss journeys, and we talk about diet, nutrition, and whatnot. And he told me that he started doing or implementing the OMAD diet. So he asked me, have you heard of the OMAD diet? And I was like, no, what is that? First time ever hearing it, 2 months ago. He explains to me, basically he eats one meal a day, and he fits his calories all within this window. And I'm like, what? How does that work? I'm skeptical. I'm always skeptical when I hear of these types of diets. Me personally, I'm going to be very upfront about my beliefs in nutrition. I don't believe that people can survive off of one meal a day for long term, for sustainability. It may work for a little while. It may help you shed off those extra stubborn pounds that you haven't been able to do. I think it's just very short-term fixes with these diets. And I told my boss that, and he's implementing it, and his wife is implementing it. And anyway, he started showing me all these YouTube videos of, I guess these famous YouTubers who are known for their over-the-top 1 meal a day extravagant plates. Like they eat huge burgers with like 4 patties in it, and then French fries with all this sauce in between each layer of patty, and like they'll eat pizza with like barbecue. I don't know, all this like crazy fattening stuff, and literally I couldn't even watch an entire video because it just made my stomach hurt. I'm like, dude, my stomach could never. Like, that just looks painful. That looks like my gut would just not reject that, okay? So that was my first impression of OMAD diet. It doesn't seem sustainable. It seems kind of, again, I'm being ridiculous, and I don't want anyone getting offended by what my opinions are, because, again, they are just opinions. It just seems a little ridiculous to me. I don't know. I'm like, how does that work? Like, 1 meal a day? I cannot. I would be in like the worst mood. Which my boss did tell me that the first like week or so, it did take a while for his body to adjust, that he was cranky and really bad downfall and withdrawal. But he says now that he's been doing it for a couple months, he's fine, and you know, he's doing it for other health-related reasons that I won't get into today. But I'll specifically talk about OMAD diet in terms of utilizing it in weight loss. If you follow weight loss trends, then you've probably heard about intermittent fasting, which is like the new millennial thing, right? Which basically has dieters foregoing food for up to 16 hours, then consuming their meals during the remaining 8 hours of the day. It's restrictive, but not crazy grueling. The OMAD diet, however, takes this to the extreme, I think. OMAD, again, stands for 1 meal a day. The idea is to fast for 23 hours straight. 23. You heard it correct. Fast for 23 hours straight and then consume one large meal in a 60-minute window. Lately, OMAD has been gaining popularity with people swearing by it has a weight loss method as well as a way to tackle chronic disease and other health issues. And again, that's what my boss really told me. Why his motives were to start the OMAD diet were for, health-related issues, not necessarily for weight loss. And that's just by reading that out loud, it's kind of alarming to me. How are you supposed to fit all of your calories in that small window? And if you work out, say you work out in the morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., but your window to eat isn't until 5 p.m., how will that work when it comes to your fitness and trying to gain muscle, if that's the goal, or whatever the case may be? You need to eat protein within an hour window after exercise. So I don't really understand how that would really benefit one's body, especially if you're a consistent gym goer, or you're just someone who loves to work out, go for a run, cycle, whatever the case may be. Your protein intake needs to happen almost immediately after you're done working out to replenish your muscles. And I don't know. I'm quite puzzled by this whole fad of OMAD. And I'm going to explain to you guys basically on today's episode, how do you follow the OMAD style diet? Can OMAD actually lead to weight loss? And if you do the OMAD diet, what should you eat? I'll also explain some side effects, risks that people should know about OMAD. And I'll also share with you guys celebrities who swear by OMAD. And I actually, when I pulled up the list of the celebrities, I was pretty surprised by the people on that list. I was reading each of their cases and I'm like, wow, like I would have never expected for this specific person to eat the OMAD style, or these are people who have tried it. I'm not 100% sure if these people are still implementing the OMAD diet to this day. But this was a group of celebrities pulled from 2017 research. So about 3 years ago, not that long ago. We'll see if, I wonder if they're still doing it. So you guys, I'm going to cut into a very brief break right now. And when we come back, we'll talk more about the OMAD diet.
Are you looking to learn more about the latest trends from the fitness world? Are you confused by all of the different trends that are out there? The GSMC Fitness Podcast is the place for you. The GSMC Fitness Podcast is the place to come for people of all skill and interest levels. Join us as we explore the latest trends in the fitness world. Does that new exercise really work? Should I try yoga? Whatever your question, chances are good you'll find an answer on the GSMC Fitness Podcast.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So, just like many diets, OMAD has a host of rules. For starters, your one meal should be eaten in the same 4-hour time block every day, so you eat on a consistent schedule. So, say you give yourself the window of being able to eat between the hours of 4 p.m. through 8 p.m. So in that 4-hour window, you're supposed to consume your one large meal within that window. And say on Monday, you eat your meal at 6 p.m. And then the following day, you eat it at 4. And then the next day, it's at 7. So that works as long as it stays within that 4-hour window that you set yourself for. I've even read people setting their windows from 10 p.m. to like 2 in the morning. So I'm not 100% sure if the exact time frame really matters. I think all that matters is that whatever time frame you choose, it has to stay consistent. And you're allowed to drink beverages during your 23-hour fast, but they have to be calorie-free, you guys. So you have to drink things like black coffee or water. I don't even think you can even drink tea. Certain teas, I think tea, like tea, or maybe tea without sugar or milk or anything like that. So unless you want to be sipping on water, plain tea, or straight up black coffee, then I don't know. Really think about that, you guys. 23-hour fast. All you can drink is coffee, water, and tea. You must consume your one meal on a standard dinner plate, nothing larger. So obviously, like, you want to be able to eat an enormous salad in a huge salad like mixing bowl. It has to be a standard dinner plate. You have to fit your food in. Of course, all of the YouTube videos that I watched when my boss was explaining to me what OMAD was, they were all eating in like platters that serve a Thanksgiving dinner table. So they probably do go very excessive because it's YouTube and, views and whatnot. But according to a sports dietitian based in Connecticut and author of Healthy Instant Pot Cookbook, Dana Angela White, she suggests standard dinner plate, nothing larger. And no piling on heaping amounts of food. Whether you choose to eat, whatever you choose to eat can't rise higher than 3 inches on your plate. Other than that, dieters can, in theory, eat whatever they like. So, again, for OMAD, your once a meal day has to be on a standard dinner plate, and it can't be any more than 3 inches high, which, if you think about it, 3 inches is still kind of tall for you to be able to eat food. I mean, think about it, 3 inches. That's kind of a lot, right? Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. That's the upside to OMAD. You don't really need to consider your calories or worry about the exact nutritional profile of the food you eat, as long as you're saving all of your calories for that one period of time. That's what New York City-based nutritionist Natalie Rizzo, author of the No-Brainer Nutrition Guide for Every Runner, has to say. That's the biggest upside. You don't need to really worry about anything else. Just stick to that window, that 4-hour window that you chose for yourself. So if you're someone who dislikes, tracking and crunching numbers, tracking your calories, you find that excessive, or you find that boring, or you find that just irritable, OMAD has that appeal that you literally don't need to think about it. I mean, it's in the name of her book, right? The No-Brainer Guide. So I guess there is an upside to it. Again, me personally, with my schedule, the way I just believe nutrition works, that still doesn't really sound appealing to me. Like, I don't mind tracking my food. I don't mind counting my calories. I believe that's like the most sustainable way, honestly, is your calories, your calorie counting. And you don't need to count your calories every single day for the rest of your life, you guys. You can literally track your calories for a couple weeks just so you get a general idea of what it is you're putting in your body, what it is you are consuming and eating. And then after the couple of weeks of you consistently eating in that manner daily, then you can, stop counting and just kind of eyeball what your serving sizes and whatnot. So it's really not that hard. I think people are just very convenient based. Like, anything that provides a little ounce of inconvenience in anyone's life, it's like we want no parts of it, right? That's just how our culture is built. And I think when it comes to your diet and nutrition, again, I've said this multiple times throughout this podcast, you shouldn't be taking shortcuts. This is your health. Health is literally, in my opinion, top 3 most important things in this life that we have. And we have to make sure that we are taking good care of her, meaning her health. And, anyway, I know I'm going on like a tangent right now. I'm just like saying things. Let me get back to OMAD, right? So OMAD diet. Can OMAD diet lead to weight loss? Okay. So again, this is an extreme level of intermittent fasting, no doubt. But Dr. Natalie Rizzo notes that there is some positive research surrounding fasting in general, showing that fasting could aid in weight loss as well as assist in preventing chronic disease. Other research suggests that intermittent fasting helps regulate blood glucose level, which may be therapeutic for those with diabetes. Yet, whatever weight loss or health benefits you see on the OMAD diet will likely be short-lived, you guys, okay? It will be short-lived. The drawbacks are obvious. Not eating for 23 hours will probably lead to serious hunger, lack of energy, fatigue, and uncontrollable cravings. So you really got to weigh out the pros and cons here, you guys. And that's why I don't really believe in OMAD. I don't really support it. Again, this is just my opinion, so do not get offended if you are on OMAD. If my boss listens to this podcast, please don't get offended, boss. Again, this is just my opinion and how I think about nutrition. And even Dr. Natalie Rizzo agrees that you can lose weight for obvious reasons. You are not eating for a very prolonged period of time. And that is what aids in weight loss. not necessarily the style or technique or the hidden magic of OMAD. It's just you are literally depriving yourself of food for 23 hours. That's why you're losing weight. What's more, fasting for so long might make you so famished, you end up choosing the wrong foods when it is time to eat. Like greasy fries and double bacon burritos, which yes, people do eat all this stuff in their OMAD diets, which I've seen in YouTube. True that these are allowed on the diet. No food is off limits for your 1 hour meal, but face planning in high fat, low sodium, or not low sodium, high fat, low nutrition foods could leave you taking in more calories than you need. Not to mention, it can cause a lot of stomach discomfort and mood changes. That even gave me stomach discomfort just watching those videos. And I'm not even doing OMAD. And it's just like, that is a huge, something to really consider if you are considering in implementing the OMAD diet, is that could be a major drawback, that you are so hungry throughout the entire day that when it is that 1 hour window for you to consume your calories, you literally just eat anything in sight and eat the least nutrient dense foods. And we know a lot of the least nutrient dense foods are really tasty, but they're not filling. Like, they fill your hunger for about 5 minutes, and then there you are again, extremely hungry. So when someone deprives themselves of food for 24 hours, they tend to lose control and overeat when it's time to eat again. This can lead, again, to choosing unhealthy options and eating way more than what feels natural in one sitting. Plus, it'll be tough getting enough of the nutrients your body needs each day. Joking aside, it would be fantastically difficult to meet your nutrient needs eating this way. I mean, sure, a well-balanced multivitamin and omega-3 supplement would be helpful, but I would still have concerns about, people meeting their needs. You still need to meet your vitamin and multivitamin profile with foods, not just with supplements. Any calorie deficit you achieve would also likely promote muscle breakdown as your body turns to burning muscle for energy. And if you're an athlete or you're trying to build strength, build mass, the OMAD diet can definitely backfire. So you guys, I'm going to come to a very brief break right now. And when we come back, more on OMAD diet.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So we're now going to be diving into, if you do decide to try the OMAD diet, what should you eat? if you decide to go down this route, don't fall into the trap of scarfing down anything you crave. Okay, I know it's hard, but you must not do it. This diet allows you to eat whatever you want. And personally, I would suggest a well-balanced meal with healthy carbs, protein, and healthy fats. Just like eating 3 meals a day still applies to this 1 meal a day. Since you're trying to make up for the calories you skip throughout the day, feel free to load up on foods with lots of healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, and nuts. And for protein sources, again, double up. So just basically double up your servings. Also, what's really important, you guys, about OMAD is to make sure that you add in variety. Because our nutrient needs are so diverse, variety would be essential. Mix it up by eating different things every day so you don't miss out on nutrients. And even if you aren't doing OMAD, I think everyone should implement this. Even I should implement this a little bit more, mixing up my diet a little bit. I think I have a very strong tendency to stick to the same foods, eat the same foods, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I mean, it's convenient, right? Especially if you're meal prepping. You don't need to think about prepping food or cooking or cleaning, none of that. It's like, it's already there. So again, those are the important things to consider about. It's not really about what should you eat, but more how you should eat. How should you build your plate when you are on the OMAD diet? So again, it's just making sure it's a well-balanced meal with healthy carbs, your protein, and healthy fats. And, just doubling up a little bit on the servings, and to mix it up every now and then, add some variety in your meals, especially with this 1 meal a day, since you're literally eating 1 meal as opposed to a person who's eating 3 to 4 meals a day. They can mix it up throughout the day, right? So very important things to keep in mind. And now, you guys, we're going to continue on with the conversation about, more about what you need to know. And I'm going to get a little bit deeper into benefits of OMAD and clinical experience. Clinicians' experience in prescribing intermittent fasting and low-carb nutrition frequently use OMAD as a tool to help with weight loss stalls. When a patient is eating low carb but isn't losing weight as expected, temporary use of OMAD can help kickstart weight loss. So again, you guys, I want to reiterate that OMAD can kickstart the weight loss, but it's short-lived. It's not sustainable. Many who eat in an OMAD pattern do so for the ease of only preparing food and eating once each day. This can be especially helpful for those who travel frequently, those who perform shift work, and those with hectic and busy schedules. Think about how much time you spend planning, shopping for, and preparing meals. And we haven't even mentioned the worst part, which is dealing with dirty dishes. If you eat 3 meals per day, how much time could you save by cutting that by 2/3? You'd be saving a lot of time, right? As a form of time-restricted eating and intermittent fasting, OMAD may help reduce hyperinsulinemia, control diabetes, and improve metabolic syndrome. Consistent clinical experience shows that widening the fasting window can help improve these metabolic conditions. So, when used appropriately, OMAD could potentially deliver better results than shorter fasts. Some see OMAD as an easy way to reduce calorie intake. When you only allow yourself to eat in a 30 to 60 minute time window, it is physically difficult to exceed your daily calorie needs. That's why this works, you guys. This pattern of eating works not because, oh my God, once a meal is like how everyone should be eating, not because No, it's because you're literally just in a calorie deficit. Again, it all traces back to eating in a calorie deficit, expending more calories than what you were consuming. And it is physically, I wouldn't say impossible, because nothing in life is impossible, right? But it is a very, 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 very difficult to exceed into a calorie surplus within a 60-minute window. So that is something to consider. And just remember, you guys, with any diet that you do, it all just boils down to you eating fewer calories, aka calorie deficit. It's not important, but it is sure challenging for those who benefit from a firm schedule that restricts snacking. OMAD can be the strategy that works best. I know a lot of my clients come to me. No one has really specifically talked to me about OMAD, but I have had a few talk to me about intermittent fasting. Like I said, this is a new millennial trend going on right now. And that strategy works, again, if you, have a tendency to snack and you want to limit your snacking. Obviously, OMAD or any style of intermittent fasting could work for you, since you are only allowed to eat during a specific time. So now I want to get into some of the concerns about OMAD. And I think the first major thing that I want to emphasize is that OMAD can heighten eating disorders, okay? Any eating pattern that promotes a cycle of food restriction followed by extra food consumption can trigger disordered eating behavior in susceptible people. So if you have a history of eating disorders, you should probably avoid OMAD. I know, especially for all my young listeners out there, who are constantly being fed all of these images by the media of the air quote perfect body. Don't listen to that, okay? And if you're trying to lose weight, there is more sustainable ways to lose weight than implementing OMAD. So again, if you have already difficulties with body dysmorphia, eating disorders, eating behaviors, then I would 100% avoid OMAD diet. And yeah, so that's all what I have to say about that. Just being very careful that this doesn't spark any ideas in your head about food restriction, starvation. None of that. That is not the point of OMAD. However, that's, I think, my biggest concern with OMAD, and why I would never, I can't think of the word right now, why I would never recommend that to anybody, because I wouldn't want to be held responsible for telling a client, limit yourself for 23 hours, no eating except for coffee, water, and tea, and eat within this window. You just never know what issues that person may have, body dysmorphia issues. Like I said, and I'm speaking from experience because I feel like a lot of young women, men too, but I know a lot of women have issues, or they go through a period in their life where they just look at themselves and are just completely disgusted by what they see in the mirror. And I've been a victim of this, where I literally, in high school, I was I remember when I hit 100 pounds and I thought I was the most obese person in this world. Truly, I literally thought I was so obese. I didn't want to eat for dinner. I would try to skip my meals. I would lie to my mom and be like, I'm not hungry, but really I was starving. So I feel like a lot of young people fall into this idea that if you starve yourself and restrict yourself, then you'll lose weight and you'll become desirable and pretty and you'll land that modeling job or whatever the case may be. But I'm here to tell you guys, as a now freshly turned 25-year-old, that is not true. Get that idea out of your head. There's no perfect image, so don't believe all of these images that we're constantly fed through the media. And yeah, I know I went on a tangent again, but again, if you have an eating disorder or any type of unusual eating behavior pattern, avoid OMAD at all costs. So you guys, I'm going to cut to another very brief break right now. And when we come back, more on OMAD diet.
The GSMC Life and Happiness podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Hey guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So we're going to now dive into chronic caloric restriction. Creating an environment where you naturally reduce caloric intake is one of the clinical benefits of OMAD. The other side of that coin is that it can be difficult to obtain adequate calories if eating OMAD long-term on a daily basis. OMAD can then start to look a lot like chronic caloric restriction. Although chronic caloric restriction helps with initial weight loss, it poses long-term concerns because it tends to lower your resting metabolic rate, which makes weight loss very difficult to maintain. That's why all of these fad diets, they're quick fixes to me. They're not sustainable, okay? It's not meant for long term. Just as OMAD promotes caloric restriction, it can also lead to protein restriction. Since protein helps you feel full and satisfied, it can be difficult to eat your entire daily requirement in one sitting. For example, the average 5'10", 81 kilogram pound male should eat about 110 grams of protein daily. If you can eat a 16-ounce ribeye plus a couple of fried eggs in one sitting, then it may not be a concern. But if that sounds like a lot to you, then your protein intake may be too low with daily OMAD. And let's not even dive into if you're doing OMAD while being on keto or doing OMAD and you're plant-based. It's going to make it a lot more challenging. If you are trying to consistently remain in ketosis, I would recommend restricting net carb intake to less than 20 grams per day. But in general, I would also advise that you spread out your carb intake so each meal has no more than 10 grams. With OMAD, you eat only one meal, so you could theoretically eat all 20 grams of carbs in one sitting. While that is still compatible with a keto diet, those who are highly insulin resistant may respond to a 20-gram carb load with glucose and insulin spikes. Some find the consistent cycle of no food followed by a large amount of food causes abdominal discomfort and even diarrhea, you guys. So that is some of the negative side effects of OMAD. Although it's hard to estimate how many OMAD eaters experience this, clinical expert panel considers it uncommon but not unheard of. For those who need to take prescription medications with food more than once per day, OMAD presents a significant hurdle. I mean, It's in the name, right? OMAD, 1 meal a day. Whereas medication, if it's asking you to eat these, or not eat, but, take the medication with food, like 3 meals a day, then that's definitely an issue. If this is the case for you, discuss with your healthcare provider if other options exist. If not, then OMAD is likely not safe for you. Now, let's talk about OMAD paired with exercise. Some people find it difficult to exercise while fasting. If you are active, this would make following an OMAD pattern challenging. However, I would encourage you to at least try fasted exercise, as some findings suggest that it may help with weight and fat loss, although the literature is inconclusive at this point. Which, that's another big hurdle for me as well. I'm a very active individual. I go to the gym at least 5 times a week. And so OMAD would impose a huge hurdle in my personal life. And really quick, let's talk about some of the warning signs when it comes to OMAD. Many people do well and even thrive with time-restricted eating and intermittent fasting. Others are more susceptible to side effects. Feeling a little hungry and a little low in energy are expected, but feeling unwell, extremely fatigued, dizzy, nauseated, or having other severe side effects are abnormal responses to intermittent fasting and OMAD. If you experience any of these severe side effects, OMAD is likely not the best choice for you. You can work with your doctor to determine if any changes like greater adaptation to low carb and shorter fasting regimens could make it an option in the future. So with all of this being said, let's discuss what the science says. The science on intermittent fasting and time-restricted eating is growing, seemingly on a weekly basis. The problem is that different studies investigate different protocols. For instance, one recent study showed that a 14 to 10 time-restricted eating pattern can promote weight loss and metabolic health. How do we know if these benefits occur with OMAD? If 14 to 10 is helpful, is 23 to 1 better? It might be. If lowering insulin levels and mobilizing fat stores for 14 hours is beneficial, it makes sense than doing it for 23 hours, could be even more so. Yet, this assumes that a longer time frame doesn't introduce any counterbalancing negative effects. Other studies suggest longer fasting windows have a net benefit, although none capture OMAD eating perfectly. For instance, another trial showed that in obese patients with diabetes, 2 weeks of eating within a 7-hour window reduced fasting and postprandial blood glucose more than eating with a 13-hour window. Closer to a standard OMAD, a 2009 crossover study compared eating 3 meals per day to eating the exact same food all in a 20 to 4 eating window. The diet was 15% protein, 35% fat, and 50% carbs. During the 8-week period of eating within a 4-hour window, participants lost 4.4 pounds of body fat while maintaining their lean mass. By contrast, they lost no weight or fat while eating 3 meals per day. In addition, immediately after the time-restricted eating portion of the study, patients had lower triglycerides. While the authors warned about the higher LDL, looking further, we see that the total cholesterol to HDL ratio remained the same after both diets at 3-4, and the TG to HDL ratio improved in the time-restricted eating group. Therefore, even though LDL went up, overall lipid profiles improved during time-restricted eating. Interestingly, the subjects reported increased hunger throughout the day or throughout the time they ate within a 4-hour window. But keep in mind, this was a high-carb diet. Would it have been different on a low-carb diet? Clinical experience suggests that yes, they would have been less hungry, but we don't have comparative data. So it seems reasonable to extrapolate the idea or this data to OMAD and predict that it may also provide the same or greater benefits. But we still don't know if the benefit remains for long-term daily OMAD, since we have hesitation about the daily use of OMAD. The lack of long-term data is concerning. That is why alternate day fasting comes in. Alternate day fasting is essentially every other day you're implementing OMAD, the 1 meal a day. Eat normally for a day, then follow the OMAD pattern for a day. This addresses concerns about chronic caloric restriction because every other day is normal eating. Alternating with the fasting or calorie restricted day. One study compared ADF to chronic caloric restriction and found it was better tolerated and delivered similar benefits for weight loss and body composition. While none of these studies definitely show OMAD is healthy and sustainable, we can reasonably extrapolate from the data and suggest that OMAD can likely be a part of a healthy, sustainable eating period. So you guys, we're going to cut into a very short break right now. And when we come back, I'm going to reveal to you guys finally celebrities who are on OMAD diet or who have tried it. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of the same old news? Are you sick of the seemingly endless political spin and negativity? The GSMC America Still Beautiful podcast is a weekly news podcast covering all the top positive and uplifting news stories. We cover stories that will inspire, uplift, and remind you of the good in the world. Tune into the Golden State Media Concepts America Still Beautiful podcast to get all the great and positive news stories of today. Download the GSMC America Still Beautiful podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Hey guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So we're now moving into the final segment of today's show, and we're going to be revealing, I'm going to be revealing celebrities who have tried OMAD diet, what are their thoughts, and so let's get to it. We all know that celebrities are guilty of trying every crazy diet in the book, from eating nothing but baby food to week-long juice cleanses. Pretty ridiculous. It's pretty common within the celebrity world. But probably the strangest diet we've ever heard of is the 1 meal a day diet, OMAD diet, and it's exactly what it sounds. So again, you basically eat nothing all day, and then in the evening, you eat 1 meal. Apparently, it's supposed to keep your daily calorie intake low, thus resulting in weight loss, aka that is what you call, ladies and gentlemen, eating in a calorie deficit. And the last meal doesn't even have to be that healthy either. Since everyone wants to know what miracle diet will help them lose weight and eat all the unhealthy food they want, the Eat Only Once diet has been a bit of an ongoing fad, but nutritionists warn against it, They say skipping meals might actually make you gain weight. But you definitely don't want to skip meals to save calories because it sets your body up for larger fluctuations in insulin and glucose and could be setting you up for more fat gain instead of fat loss. In fact, a 2007 study revealed that most people who skip meals end up eating the same amount of calories they would have normally ate since they tend to overeat, which makes sense since they've been practically starving themselves all day. There's also the issue of, low blood sugar and other health risks to think about when partnering an active lifestyle with little to no nutrients. But hey, ask your nutritionist and seek professional advice if you're thinking of doing this yourself. So the first person I'm going to mention who's tried OMAD, again, I do not know if these celebrities are still on OMAD. The list I have here is from 2017, and they have all tried this specific diet. So first person, we are getting Jersey Shore personality extraordinaire. I was going to say JWoww, not JWoww. Nicole Polizzi, a.k.a. Snooki. We all know our girl Snooki from Jersey Shore. The 29-year-old has slimmed down quite a bit since her Jersey Shore days. She revealed back in 2010 that she eats 1 meal a day and 6 cookies. She also cut back on all the alcohol. She said, if I'm going to go out and have a drink, I'm not going to have 10 drinks like she normally would have. And during her Jersey Shore days. Next celebrity who has tried and implemented the OMAD diet is actually Channing Tatum. The Magic Mike star surprisingly manages to fulfill his sustenance through Checkers hamburgers alone. He told GQ, when I was finally making money, I knew exactly what I needed. $5.67. I'd have 1 meal a day. I would go to Checkers and get the number one with everything. Next celebrity who's tried OMAD diet is Liz Hurley or Elizabeth Hurley. The 52-year-old maintains her figure by drinking mugs of hot water in the morning, skipping lunch, and only having 1 meal. She says, the only meal I have is dinner. I'm on a good old-fashioned low-cal diet. I'm going to bed hungry. No. Couldn't be me. All right. Next person is Pippa Middleton. So Kate Middleton's little sister made headlines for having the best bum in Britain, but she maintains it using the Stirtfood diet. The diet consists of drinking 3 Stirtfood juices and eating only 1 meal a day, the OMAD. It's unclear if Pippa's still on the diet, but according to E! News, she used it as a pre-wedding slim down. Next, we got my girl Megan Fox. Back in 2010, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle star revealed to Allure magazine that she could go a whole week without eating. She also revealed during a red carpet interview back then that she only ate 1 meal a day around 10 p.m. However, these days, the mom of 2 is now on the paleo diet, so we think her days of starvation are, they're over. Next, we have Brooke Shields. The 52-year-old actress says she doesn't diet. She's simply too tired to eat. She said in 2005, you do 8 shows a week and basically eat 1 meal a day. You're famished at night after the show, but you're worried about your voice. If you go right to sleep, you get reflux, which burns your vocal cords. Next person who implemented OMAD diet while walking the streets of Earth was Hugh Hefner. Yes, Hugh Hefner. It's is not eating the key to a long life? So the Playboy owner was rumored to eating only one meal a day, usually between midnight and 5 a.m. So his window was pushed back a lot more. Next, we have Corey Feldman. The former child star and walking symbol of viral embarrassment was exposed by one of his former band members. She said in an interview that Corey only ate once a day. Then we have Montel Williams. The former talk show host was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease in 1999, which forced him to eat a pretty strict diet. He told Everyday Health magazine, "I drink about 48 ounces a day. That constitutes about 50% of what I eat, and then I have one meal a day, some protein." So pretty extreme. I literally would not be able to do that. And then we got also Joanna Lumley. So the absolutely fabulous star looks, well, fabulous for 71 years of age. But she had to starve herself to get there. She said in 2015, "I don't eat any meals. I eat a bit throughout the day if I'm hungry, but not a big meal. I'll have some nuts or maybe some crisp, and that's enough." I'm sorry, but that's definitely not enough for me. Sorry, not sorry. And then last but not least, we got Conrad Bromfield. The male model attributes his lean physique and rock-hard abs to eating well, next to nothing. He told GQ magazine, "My thing is I eat once a day. I eat something small in the morning, like an apple or a banana, just to give me energy to run around to castings and do a bunch of things. When I'm finished in the evening, I eat a big meal, and after that, I don't eat anything." So, you guys, there you have it. The celebrities who swear by, the eating one meal a day, the OMAD diet. And that's going to wrap up today's episode here at the GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. I really hope you guys enjoyed what we had to discuss on today's episode. Definitely let me know in the comments if you've tried OMAD before. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you still currently implementing OMAD diet? Let me know your pros and cons. If you liked today's episode, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff, because that tremendously helps the show. And I'll catch you guys here next week.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Health and Wellness Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.